What's going on, guys? Back with another presentation. Um, I want to talk to you guys about something I was just thinking about. What if the world was not a superficial place? Don't you think the world would be better if it wasn't a superficial place? Because I certainly do. I feel like if this world was a more moralistic place, like let's say if people judged people by the content of their character or by the energy that people bring to the table, don't you think the world would be a better place? Because the world is a very superficial place. It's all about, money, fame, materialistic possessions. These are the things that people deem as valuable. But what if people judge people by the content of their character? The things that Martin Luther King used to talk about. What if people judged people by those criterias? Don't you think the world would be a better place? Because I certainly do. Um, the world is such an evil place because it's all about the superficial. If you don't look a certain way, if you don't have certain material possessions, people look at you as less than, right? But what if people judge people by what's on the inside of them? Then you wouldn't have men who can't find love. You know, the world would just be a better place. But for, but unfortunately, the world is not that kind of place. This world that we live in is a very dark and evil place. And you know, being, how I was raised, being told that if you're a good person and if you do the right thing, you'll get all the rewards you want. I was totally misled. And I'm sure a lot of you guys were too. Um, a lot of people have truly been misinformed about this society. Um, this world that we live in is just a dark and evil place, full of dark and evil people. And I feel like if you pay close attention, um, most wicked and evil people, they have either looks, clout, or they have lots of money. They fit into one of the pillars of success. And I call looks, status, and money the three pillars of success because those are the things that people judge you by in this world. See, I used to think I had the wrong idea about life, and I'm sure a lot of you guys did as well. I used to believe that life is all about being a good person, believing in Jesus, doing right by people, and just trying to be, the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. I used to think that's what life was about, but I had to understand that life is not about being a good person. Life is not about being the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. At the end of the day, this world is a dark place. And I had to get through my head that no one cares about you being a good person. No one cares about you, trying to do the right thing. No one cares about that. I had to get through my head because I used to believe that if you have, good deeds and if you do all of these good things, that you're going to be rewarded. And people in this society, this world is not based on those things. This world is based on what do you have? That's the basis of this world. That's why it's so important to have the right philosophy about life. Um, but first, in order to have the right philosophy about life, you have to understand what the world is really about. This world is not about believing in no Jesus. It ain't about being no good person either. And I was just thinking to myself, don't you think the world would be a better place if people wasn't so superficial? Don't you think that if people didn't judge people by superficial things, money, status, looks, if people didn't judge you by those things, people wouldn't put so much value on those things. And if people judge people by the content of their character, I feel like the world would be a better place, you know? But unfortunately, with this, in this world that we live in, people will never judge you by the content of your character. People will always judge you by what do you have, you know? At the end of the day, that's all that matters. What do you have? You know, do you look good? Do you have lots of money? Do you have fame? You know, that's what people care about, you know. Just think, you know, if you was to fly around your city in a helicopter drinking some Perrier Jouet Blanc de Blanc and you landed, you know, let's say you landed at the grocery store. Let's say your jet landed in the back of a, let's say your helicopter landed in the back of a grocery store. Or let's say you landed right in front of the grocery store. Just think about the respect and honor that people are going to give you. They're going to be like, who the hell is that? They see a big old helicopter landing. You hop off the helicopter. You know, you got a nice blazer on with some slacks and some loafers on. You know, people going to be like, dang, is he a big time government official? But that just go to show you, or they'll think, is he some wealthy man? That just go to show you the respect and what people judge you by in this world. That just go to show you what matters to people in this society. You know, I truly believe personally, if the world was not so superficial, I feel that this world would be a better place. People wouldn't be so evil and full of the devil. But when you have a society that values, um, you know, when you have a society that values, you know, superficial things, this is the kind of world you're going to produce. And I'm starting to think that even in other countries, I don't really think they value, they may not be as bad as the US, but I think other countries are superficial as well. Because there was a guy telling me that in England, in London, they're superficial over there. It's superficial over there. It's just like the America. So, you know, I'm starting to realize that it's not just America that's superficial. You know, even other countries are superficial as well. Unfortunately, this is just the world that we live in, you know, and this is why it's so important to have a clear understanding of life, you know, because going through life thinking that, oh, if I'm a good person, if I believe in God, going through life thinking that that matters and thinking that, you know, just because you're a good person and you do good deeds and you believe in God, thinking that people care about that and thinking that that's going to garner you some kind of respect, you're sadly mistaken in this world. Because no one cares about your good deeds. No one cares about you trying to be a good person. No one cares about you loving Jesus. That's what I had to understand. And it's very imperative that, you know, people understand that in this society that we live in, being some good person and having good character, that's not going to garner you any kind of respect in this world because people don't care about that, unfortunately, you know? And I feel this is a vital lesson that needs to be taught to children. But you guys let me know what you think about this. How do you feel the world would be if this world wasn't so superficial, you know, if people weren't caught up in the superficial stuff, you know. But you guys leave your comments, let me know what you think. Give me your feedback, and I will be back at you guys very, very soon with more content. Have a good day.